The only way you'll be able to turn your negative thoughts, your negative emotions, your negative feelings into positive thoughts and to stay motivated and to be uplifted is if you choose to. That's it. That's all. No clickbait, no cliche. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And we're just going to get straight into this video raw, uncut, and unfiltered. So if you don't like vulnerability, you don't like honesty, you don't like to be accountable, I'll give you a couple seconds. But let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. The only way we can turn our negative thoughts into positive thoughts is if we choose to. Now, when you choose to do something, you have to realize that it's on you to do it. Now, as your favorite mental health specialist and a motivational teacher, I am here to inform you. I'm here to guide you. You still have to take this information, the resources, and the knowledge that resonates with you and apply it for yourself. So always say what resonates and leave the rest. But it's still up to you and I to show up for ourselves, even though we've been touched on at an early age within our community, within our family, within people we knew. We still have to show up when we were evicted and we didn't have nowhere to stay and we had to put whatever we could in our car or in our U-Haul and live on people's couches. We still have to show up when we get fired and we don't have a job and we don't have any money in our bank account. We still have to show up when we've been abused mentally from the people that we thought we loved or the people we went to school with. We still have to show up when we get bullied, when we get jumped, when we get robbed. We still have to show up when we get SA'd and RAPED. We still have to show up when our lives are in danger. We still have to show up when we're sick. We have cancer. We have STDs. We still have to show up. It's a choice. And you have to realize that that pain and that anger and that frustration is to spark you. It's for you to become the best version of yourself. On the opposite side of the rainbow is the gold. Once it's done raining, the sun has to come out. So just like the seasons, the weather is going to change. You are going to do the same thing when it comes to life. And I personally don't want you to feel like because you went through those things that you have to be like the people that hurt you. Speaking from experience, you guys, I've been through a lot. And I've been very strategic. Oh, I've been very strategic. Come through, spirit. Very strategic about how I'm going to talk about what I've been through. Because it's crazy. But because I'm a survivor, because I'm alive, okay, by the grace of the Most High, okay, ancestors, universe come through, I have to talk about it. I have to let you know that it is possible to go through those things that I've listed because I've been through those same examples and choose to still see brighter days. When you grow up in dysfunction, when you grow up in a narcissistic and toxic household, that's all you know. And it's not fair to beat ourselves up or to shame ourselves when we didn't have the support. If you grew up in a one-parent household or if you grew up with two parents and it wasn't, perfect, you have to realize that's what you saw as a child. And a lot of people don't realize we had to been taught and exposed to certain things. So it's like to say that you're supposed to be a certain type of way when you went through certain things and nobody is taking the time to get to know you. Why do you think it's fair for you to continue to beat yourself up when the world or society is trying to judge you or shame you or make you feel less of yourself? I know that the things that I went through, I'd be daggone if I let an MFer on these streets of the earth make me feel bad or ashamed about the things that I went through, because you don't know what I went through and you don't know how I feel. And that's the same thing with you. So whole purpose of this video is for you to realize that you're not alone, and I'm going to recommend what you have to do moving forward. You need to know that you're going to go through withdrawals. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, and as a naturopathic physician, that means naturally healing yourself. You're going to have to go through a lot of emotions, like all the trauma, all the anxiety, all the depression, all the suicidal thoughts, all the bipolarness, all the OCD, all the 1, 2, 3s, the ADDs, all these autism, all these labels and attachments, everything that's inside of you internally, you got to stop suppressing. So you're going to feel angry. If you grew up in a dysfunctional household and it was abusive and you didn't talk about it, you're going to feel triggered. You're going to feel challenged. Some days you're going to cry yourself to sleep at night. Some days you're not even going to be able to get out the bed. Some days you're going to sit in the room and it's going to be dark. Some days you're going to be able to go outside and act like nothing happened. You're going to go through a fluctuation of emotions. Why? Because you're a human being. You have to learn how to validate your emotions. Men and women, black and white, Hispanic, Asian, hey, gay, them, she, we, EFG. Everybody's allowed to have emotions. Stop trying to act like it's not cool to feel. Crying is natural. Cry if you need to cry. You're not weak. You're not less of a person. You have feelings. You're still a human at the end of the day. You have to feel what you felt. All the negativity that you experienced was for you to realize how powerful you are, how strong you are, how smart you are. And every single thing or anybody who thought they were going to come up against you, I promise you, the hardest way possible. You have to realize that your suffering is not in vain. The only way you'll feel like your suffering is in vain is if you don't realize how important you are, the impact that you have for yourself and others, how smart you are, how beautiful you are, and most importantly, what you need to do. And as your favorite mental health specialist, that's what I'm here for. So these are some recommendations on how you're going to continue to show up for yourself. Number one, you need to make a decision. I've been trying to keep it cute. I've been trying to, okay, let's be honest. When it comes to mental health, you have to be honest. You have to open all the closets with all the skeletons. So if you don't want your skeletons to be seen like an x-ray, send this video and share it to somebody who wants to. Pick a side. Pick a side, because that's how serious it is. Pick a side. You have to make a decision that when you decide to heal yourself, that you are going to show up for yourself, that you're going to love yourself, that you're going to be kind to yourself, that you're going to grieve, that you're going to yell, that you're going to cry, that you're going to scream, that you're going to shout, that you're going to seek therapy, that you're going to schedule an appointment with me, your favorite mental health specialist, or with a guidance counselor, or with a psychiatrist, or with whoever you need to speak to. But you're going to make a commitment to yourself to be there for you, because those people and those places and things who did the things that they did to you are going to live their life. They're not going to care. And if they do apologize and there's no changed behavior, they still did what they did. And the problem is that you are the only person that's holding on to the memory. As you're currently watching this video right now, you need to make a decision if you're going to continue to watch it all the way to the end and if you're going to return. Because it's serious. Just because we go through trials and tribulations doesn't mean that we have to stay there. And I recently just made a video talking about that. Not dwelling and staying stuck and stagnant in your past. The second thing you have to realize in order for you to transmute this negative energy into positivity is to embrace how you felt. When you're getting touched on inappropriately at an early age and you don't know it's appropriate, or you try to tell people and they don't believe in you, you have to talk about how that affected you. A lot of people try to dismiss their problems and don't realize you trying to sweep things underneath the rug doesn't get rid of what happened to you. It did happen to you. And as your favorite mental health specialist and just as a person, I don't have to betray you. I don't have to be disloyal to you. Because people fail to realize what you do in the dark, it is always going to come to the light. Why? Because nothing in life lasts forever. And that's another reason why you have to make a decision. Because it's like, why should you continue to be like the abusers and the people that hurt and harm you when you were a child? Or even if you were an adult and you didn't know how to defend yourself, you didn't know how to communicate, you didn't have anybody there for you. I refused to allow the people in the places and things to do the things they did to me to affect my life. You have to love yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to build a relationship with yourself. If you don't believe in God, ancestors, and universe, because you guys know I don't force religion, I don't force spirituality on the people. You have to at least believe in yourself, because if people are negative, if people are talking badly about you amongst your friends, if your family members are talking about you, if your so-called co-workers are trying to take advantage of you, if people are just going out their way to do these things to you, who are you going to have? So if you don't learn to commit to yourself, if you don't learn that you're going to have to learn how to validate and communicate how you feel, you're going to continue to hold on to that bitterness. You're going to continue to hold on to the negative thoughts. You're going to continue to hold on to these frustrations. And that's why doctors, no shade to Western society, prescribe medicine and label you with diagnoses and say that, oh, you have PTSD, or you have. These are conversations they don't want to have, but I'm going to keep that part cute. I'm going to keep it back on topic. So you have to realize that these negative situations could be transmuted. More of the video. You have to realize that a lot of times the negativity, like I said, is projections, and it's distortion of your reality. So if you grew up and people bullied you, you would have never believed in those things had you would have known who you were. Somebody calls you ugly. That's their opinion, and everyone's entitled to it. That doesn't mean that you have to receive that information. That doesn't mean you have to agree to it. You have to realize that when you're going through negativity, it's only affecting you. It's really important that when you watch this video, like I asked you earlier, to make a decision. Do you want to commit to yourself? Do you want to go through the withdrawals? Because when you're grieving, it's no specific timeline, and there's no right or wrong way to grieve. So always take what resonates, leave the rest. It could take years. It could take days. It could take your entire life. Recently, something that I've grieved from personally was my father passing away. This year specifically, it will be 8 years. It was very traumatic for me because of how things played out. 8 years. And for some people that could still be new, it could be old. There's no specific time. But I still have to continue to live my life. You have to know that when you are going through negative situations, it's for a reason. And a lot of times we don't see that reason because of the betrayal, because we don't know who we are. So I'm challenging you that not only when you see this video, you make a decision, that when you decide to commit to yourself, you learn to be gentler to yourself. And I'm speaking from experience. As I'm making these videos, as I'm giving you guys the advice, I watch these videos too for myself. I take my own advice. You know, some people don't practice what they preach. I do. So as you learn, all shade, all tea, okay? As you learn to commit to yourself, you got to learn how to be nicer to yourself. Like I said, if you were being touched on inappropriately, you have to realize that affected you. That could affect you physically, to where you became hyperly, sexual. You could end up having teen pregnancy. You could end up having, multiple significant others. People judging you, that shouldn't matter, because I don't like people like that. I try not to talk about what I don't like. I try to keep it professional, but I'm just going to be real with you guys. This is a community here. People be so fake. How are you going to judge me for doing something that you did privately? Nobody is perfect. All of us have experienced some type of negativity. It's just like I said, are we going to be honest? Are we going to talk about it? Because it's like when you own up to it, when you talk about it, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to come to an agreement with it. You have to realize that just because, like I said, we're going through these negative situations, it's not for us to just be so caught up with it. But you have to realize that you're not going through these negative situations for no reason. So I'm going to end off the video here because this video is a lot longer than what I wanted to. But if you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know what videos you guys want to talk about. These videos over here is to challenge you and to sustain your motivation, to sustain your success. You have to believe that even though you went through all these trials and tribulations, that there's still going to be more for you. And there is. But you have to decide, like, in order for you seriously to elevate and to no longer deal with the trauma that you've experienced, You have to challenge the past version of you. You have to challenge the poverty. You have to rebuke, the people and the places, the things that did the things that they did to you. And you have to realize too that when you choose yourself, if people do not apologize to you, you need to move forward. You need to cut access to certain people. Every single person in my life who did certain things to me has been removed and being removed as I'm currently speaking. And when they leave, don't feel no type of way. Like I said, if people are not going to apologize to you, what's the point? Why should I suffer for the things that you did when I know I was a good person? Good people do not come last. Like, it's just the fact that people aren't being honest. People aren't talking about the times that they were touched on by their family members. People are not talking about the times that such and such did such and such. Like, you cannot be afraid. You can't be ashamed. That's the only reason why you have the PTSD. That's why people are so afraid and they have anxiety and they think, no, we have to go to the root of the issue. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's why a lot of people may not like these videos, but that's not for them. And it is what it is. The same thing with you. You have to realize that these negative thoughts, these negative emotions, they don't have to be permanent. So that's how I'm going to end off the video. When you see this video and it resonates with you, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to talk about. But drop in the comment sections that your negative thoughts don't have to be permanent. And just keep that in mind. So save this video. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Ty Guidance 101. Schedule your appointment. The energy and the appointments are going to be more like, vulnerable, more personal. But it's like on here, as your mental health specialist and a motivational teacher, these videos are strictly motivational. And of course, mental health specialist. So like teaching, informing, educating, that's the goal. But like when it comes to like your actual like appointment and sessions, like I said, it is very intimate, it's very personal. So it's just like same thing as a psychiatrist or therapist, naturopathic physician. You just have to be willing to choose to turn your negativity into positivity. If not, you will continue to feel like you're suffering. You'll continue to feel like you have PTSD. You'll continue to feel like you have anxiety. These are all internal issues. Unless it is physical, it's inside. It's a mindset. And even with our physical illnesses and diseases, it's internally. If you know, you know. So make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. You need to know that when you develop this mindset, you'll be able to embrace challenges and look at them as opportunities. You'll be able to become resilient. And most importantly, you'll be able to forgive yourself, that past version of you. But I'm going to end off the video here, you guys. It is like 2-3 o'clock in the morning as I'm uploading this. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching.